Nearly missed it then. I was busy. Just alter the angle. Hello and welcome. Please somebody join me. Hey! Okay. Hi Lynn. I can't even show you the card that we're making because it's kind of in my head and a little bit laid out. So I have prepped some bits and I thought it would just come together as I went along. So, evening Lynn. Brilliant. So I'll give a few minutes for everyone to join and then I will flip the camera and we'll get started. I'm a little bit concerned that I'm going to lose light. So we'll see how we go. Hi Brenda. Oh, there's Annie as well. Hi Annie. First of all, I'm going to congratulate Julie on a fantastic collection. I've absolutely loved working with it and you'll see tonight how well it works in with my collection too, which I just love the way that all the elements can just piece together. It's brilliant. Hi Hilary. Well, hello to everybody that's joining me. I've only got like a slither that I can see on my phone because I haven't got my iPad in here. This is lovely. There's Yvonne. So many, what's the word I'm looking for? Hi Julie. Lots of you. Oh, hello from, who was that? Hi Kathy from Colorado, but visiting North Carolina. Wow, nice of you to join us. Brilliant. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be using. So Julie used the tag one last night. So I thought that I would concentrate on, I haven't got one in a packet to hold up, but I'll show it you from my little book. We're going to use the corner one this time. I'm also going to use the Christmas die and I'm going to use some elements from my collection as well in there. And we're going to use the background stamp. So a lovely little mix there. So, brilliant. Hi Jean. That's good. I'm just thinking, is there anything, whilst we're just waiting, as you keep it joining, I'm just going to show you a few samples that you might not have seen. So first up is this one, and this is using the Joy stamp, but this is onto the grey card that you can do the bleach techniques on. Now I haven't used bleach on this, but this is picket fence, so it's really effective. Same sort of idea. You've got that lovely background stamp and then the Joy, but we've got some lovely glitter glue on there as well. It's a very simple but very, I think, quite classy and effective. Hi Donna. And then to match that one, here's an example of the way that the two collections do work together, because the stencil from my collection just works so well with the tag stamp there. So again, lots of dimension and some nice glitter going on in the background. And then I've got the sentiment from my, which one's it from? It's from the Star set. I can't remember what it's called. But also what I wanted to show you was how well they stamp onto pattern papers as well. Just see that. Thank you for speedy delivery. Oh, you're very welcome. Just paying that extra for the service really did pay off. But on the same note, I know that some didn't get through, so I do apologise for that. It just means that it will be with you soon if you haven't got it. I also want to show you this one. It's not finished, but I kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to show it anyway. So I loved what I did here, but look how different it looks with the bright colour if I put them next to each other. How effective. And then you've got that lovely text in the background as well. Really gorgeous poinsettias, those. Right then, let's see. Don't know what to do first. I need my platform though, so we'll get that down. Okay, I'm going to spin you round and we're going to get cracking on making this card. So, spin that camera. There we go. Let's get a good view. So once I sit down to demo, I won't be able to see the comments. So I know Julie's watching. If there's anything that Julie can answer, I'm sure she will. Just got to get this straight because it's not quite. Okay. So we're going to make a 6x6 card. So I've got my card blank and I've got a little layer of black to go on. And I've cut my layer of white. So I've got 14 centimetres square on the white, 14.5 on the black, and then my 15x15 card blank. So that's all ready to go. And then I'm just going to take my platform. I have prepped a few of the pieces because I didn't think you'd want to see me sitting cutting stuff out. So we'll just peg that down. I don't really think I need this amount of magnets on. They've all seemed to have congregated in one platform. I don't know why. And I'm going to go into my collection and take my stamp out. Not even going to talk about if it's clean or not. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm just going to place, and it doesn't matter where I stamp it because I'm going to be cutting it out. Well, I've got one cut out ready. So I'm just going to ink up using my VersaFine. Lots of nice little taps on this. Now, there's so many different techniques that you can do with the stamping. I do love inking it up with an oxide or a distress ink and spritzing it and then going back in. So I never really move the stamp out of my platform until I know I'm definitely finished with my card. But look at the detail of that stamp. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to move this to one side and we'll do some bits and pieces on it. Now, if I take out the background stamp, if I can find it in my book, and I do usually have this stuck on a piece of acetate, but I haven't got any acetate to hand. So I'm literally going to stick it to my hand, which I hate doing because it takes the stick off the back. What I want to do is add some text through my holly leaves on each side. So normally I'd have the acetate on the back and I would just go down and then just press where the leaves are, like so. So I'm not worried about this area because I have cut other layers to go over the top. So if I bring that, I mean, realistically, I could bring my camera down, look. There you go. So you can see that text going across the leaves there. Now, what I have done in advance, and I'll show you the process, I've gone and done, I've stamped that out again, look, and then I've just cut it out. So all that I've cut away are these little fronds. There's one here, one here, one here, and one here. And it's quite simple to cut out. And I did that a few times. I did it 4 times, in fact, because I wanted to really give this some dimension. Now, it looks like I haven't coloured that in very well. I just wanted to go around the edges so that when I put my next layer on and decoupage it up, if you come in from an angle, you'd see that it was coloured in. So I really doesn't matter about if it's shaded or anything, but I did want you to see the detail on those leaves with the little text coming through. So we will paint this and this one in a moment, and I'll show you how I did the leaves. Now, for a change, what I thought I would do is use my distress inks, and there's a reason that I did that, because these are more translucent than oxides, and it means that when you're painting in over the black, it tones the black line down, and that's why I said about leaving the stamp in your platform, because if you're going to colour in with oxides and you go over it, you can pop it back in, re-stamp it, which will freshen up all of those black lines and make it pop again. But for the purpose of tonight, I've decided to use my little distressings. And I have got evergreen bough, I've got aged mahogany, and I've also got some festive berries. And I'm just going to get my brush nice and juicy and just flash in. Now I want to paint this quite loosely, and I really don't mind if I have any white bits, because I think it's going to add to the finished look. So I'm just going to put in one layer down first, and then I can go back in and add a bit more colour, a bit deeper, when I finish these ones. So if I turn that around, and then I would always go a little bit darker behind here, because this is the leaf that's behind. So just give that a little bit more. And then I just need a bit more water to pull that out. There we go. And then we would rotate that round. So I would always pick up a neat ink to go around the leaf and then water it down. I have got some water there, just to pull that through a little. There we go. So that would be our leaves, holly. And I'm going to have a little bit of mahogany for my berries. And I'm not going to worry too much. Actually, I am going to. I'm going to flash down the edges, just like I did on that piece that I bought in, because that's how I would get to this. Now, if I just take a little touch of the festive berries and add that in with the mahogany, that really does give those berries a little bit more oomph, so to speak. So from there, I then take my scissors and cut around those lines, so taking away those little frondy bit pieces, and that gives me this piece here. I'm going to turn this over now, and I'm going to bring in my two other layers. So then I proceeded to stamp that out, and I did 4 altogether. I've got 1 left, so I needed 3 to get the dimension. So we will go ahead now and paint in our poinsettias. Make sure I've got plenty of ink down. Yeah, we'll start with the mahogany. So this piece here is going to be covered over, so I would start getting some dark around these back petals. I really do like colouring in using watercolour pencils, and I wouldn't be afraid to go in and add those after I've put my ink in, just to give it another layer of dimension, because I quite like to shade with them. So I'm just going to wet these tips now and start and bring in some of the festive berries as well, because I think the aged mahogany and the festive berries work quite nicely together. So just pull those round. And in fact, I think I've got my pencils to the side of me, so we can actually bring those in and do that in a minute. So then for this piece, all I'm going to do is just go around. I'm not going to worry about doing any shading yet. And this is just in case that you can peek underneath the layer when it's layered up. So just add in that little bit of colour around the outside. There we go. And I'm also then just going to go around and make sure that all of those white edges are covered, which I think they pretty much are. So then I'm just going to give a quick blast with my heat gun. I panic then that I haven't got my pencils. Okay. So I'm going to go, I've got a couple of different reds in here. This is the Stedler set. Stedler. Yeah, there's a couple of reds. You've got more of an orangey tone and more of a pinky tone. And I think with what we've got, this pinky tone, and I'm going to come down close so that you can see. I'm just going to have a glance at the messages now. Okay. So I'm just going to start and feather and hope that you can pick up. Can you, oh, is that too close? I mean, my eyes are a bit blurry, but we're just adding a little bit of depth right in tight under them petals. And it just makes all the difference, I think. It just enhances it. I mean, if you could see me now, I'm squinting like a good one because I have left my glasses in my bag. And I'm hoping that Paul's watching me from the lounge and he might come into the kitchen, go into my handbag, get my glasses out and bring them me. We'll see. There we go. So can you see the difference there? It really does. Oh, good. I'm glad, even without my glasses. Oh, I think I saw a shadow. I can hear. It's working.
No peace for the wicked.
I know there isn't, babe. Thank you. I knew you'd be watching me from the lounge. You could have just sat in here, you know. Oh, that's so much better. And I can see now that I've got a white bit just there. So I'm just going to fill that in. Right, so now for my top layer. So again, I'm just going to have to lift that up slightly so I can get to what I need to get to. For this one, I think I will still need a little bit of aged mahogany and a little bit more of my festive berries. So make sure it's got lots of water as well. I'm going to start off and just lay down a thin layer of colour first. I'm not even being too careful, just popping it on. But making sure that I've got my brush is wet enough to move that colour quite freely. There we go. And then I'm going to come in, again, making sure that my brush is nice and moist around the outside with some aged mahogany. I don't know if I just did that leaf. Petal. So I'm just adding in a bit of festive berries now. I know I've only done 3, so I'm going to turn it around and continue. I mean, you can just lose yourself doing these. Very therapeutic. Sometimes you need a bit of therapy when you've had a mad day. Packing parcels. I was in charge today. Paul had the day off. There we go. And again, we can come in and add in a bit of depth. So I'm going to blast that. So realistically, for what we're doing, it doesn't need to be a watercolour pencil if you're just going to use it to shade. And I'm going to come in nice and dark, up tight to the berries. And sort of around the right hand side of that petal. See, look how quiet I'm going. It's all this. I'm hoping that you can see what I can see. Can you see how that's starting to take shape and look a little bit more dimensional? I'm going to take a little bit around that edge as well. Okay. And if at any point you think, oh gosh, I've put too much on, you can then, because it's water-based, you can come in with your water brush and just pull it out until you're happy. But I'm happy with that. Now I am going to add a little bit of an orange in there. It is going to be covered up, but I just want some orange underneath, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so now I'm just going to use my finger and thumb. We're all quiet watching you. Yeah, I can't hear a peep out of you. Just using my finger and thumb just to give that a bit of shape. And the same on this one. Now, if you wanted to, you could snip into some of these petals so that you could lift them up and curl them a bit more if you wanted to. All right, and I'm just going to use my nail to go around where them berries are in the centre. Okay. So now when you look at the poinsettia, there is one petal that sticks out to me, and it's this one with the kind of big curl. So I know that when I look down here, it's not that one, it's that one there. So I can stick this. And can you see why it was important for me to put that little line around there? And it's just so that you can see like so. But already that just looks, oh, it's beautiful. So what do I need? I need some glue. Here we go. I'm just going to stick that. A lovely surprise to find this live. Oh, there we go. So pop that on there. And if you wanted to, if you haven't got enough depth down there, you can go in again. Now what you could use is, this is a brown one, but you could use that over the red. And can you see, well, I don't know if you can. Obviously, it would be better to do this before you stick your flower on, but I am only just putting a few lines in just to give it a little bit more drama. There we go. So if I lift that up. Okay. So when we bring in our piece, we look for that pointy one. That is going to go on top like so. And can you see, like, I've got my little bits of white. It looks a little bit arty. Again, with my leaves, I can pick out, I know that there's a green, they're not leaves, Hazel. What are they? Holly. I can go in and add just little bits of darker. It just makes all that difference. And if you go in and do that and think, oh, again, just bring your water brush through. And I've got this quite dry. It's also quite dirty, but that's fine. Let me catch up on that one. There is another live tomorrow, and it's at 10 a.m. with Kaz from the design team. I'm looking forward to seeing that because I just know she's going to incorporate her beautiful little birds. Well, I don't know. I'm just guessing. There we go. So, do you know what? it really helps if you go in with a clean brush. But that just adds a little bit more shade. It was fine as it was. But I just wanted to show you. Okay, I'm happy with my topper. Now, one thing that you could do, and I did cut one and I was undecided, but from the poinsettia and holly, I cut the skinny frame of the smaller one in black, and I also cut a centre. And I was having a look before I went live and I thought, right, okay, I could add that on there and it does look lovely. That's a choice and I'll have to make it at the end. Or I could just use the centre in there, and I actually really like that. I think that's the way I'm going. I haven't fully decided, but I just thought I'd share with you where I was at. Okay, so next step. I'm going to go onto my 14 centimetre piece of card and I'm going to create a lovely background. I'm just going to lift the camera up a little bit just because I need some space. So back to my background stamp, and I'm going to ink this up with some black ink, some VersaFine. But I'm not going to ink it up fully. I'm just going to kind of tap here and there because I want it to be bitty. And then I'm going to turn it over. Again, this would be so much better if you had it on a piece of acetate. But I'm going to just stamp down. And I'm just going to press in certain places and take it away. So I've got that nice kind of, and then I'm going to use a little bit up in that corner just to fit. Oh, don't go on wonky, Hazel. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And a little bit up in that corner. So I'm going to place that one away to keep it nice and safe. And this is where I thought, do you know what? My beautiful stars, they're going to work perfectly on here. I'm going to rotate that around because I want to be able to stamp and add my stars on. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to do a first generation and a second generation on this. So I'm going to do a lowish one. And then I'm going to bring it up and do a second gen. And then I might even get a bit of a third. Yeah, quite like that. And I'm going to ink it up again. And I'm going to keep this one really tight up the top. And maybe there. And then I'm going to get one in the middle. Here. And there. So I've got some stars. Pop that to the side. Now, going through my stamps, there is a lovely sprig of holly. And I bring these in so that you can see. A little sprig of holly on here. And initially, that's what I was going to use. But what I did, I went to the tag. Oh, come on. Where's my tag? It's hiding behind this one. Right, I just want to show you. This one is smaller than that one. And that is great, but I wanted a bigger one. So I stamped this part onto a piece of white card. And I've cut it out in advance just because my tongue protrudes out my mouth when I cut out. Not that you would see it. But I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go ahead and prep that. I mean, I would have continued and made the whole card, but I literally did run out of time. So I'm just going to add in. I'm almost dotting the ink on in places, just to soften it around the edge and give us that kind of arty look. I think I'm probably going to add in some pencil as well. But then for them berries, a little bit of aged mahog. Do you know what? I haven't used, I don't use my distress inks enough. They mix in beautifully, and it's just brought them back. I just love them. I think it's because they're in my storage case and I can see them more now. And I add a bit of the festive berries in as well. I'm starting to lose light. I hope it's okay for you. It's getting dark around me. I can feel it. So just going to add in. I should have blasted that. Not quite dry. There we go. And I'm going to give that a little shape. So I've got my nice holly. I feel like I want to... it's because I've shaped it already. Just blend that out a touch. There we go. Right then. So then, I've cut myself 2 of the skinny circles out of Julie's original circle die sets. The ones that match my All About the Girls and Boys. I did the sizing from them, but this is the largest one, and I thought, you know, I wanted this focal kind of point to create almost like a wreath feel, but a little bit crisscrossed. So this is where my head has gone. I'm going to look at this because I've stamped this in a way that that is straight. So when it goes on my card, it must be straight. So I thought, yeah, this is coming together just how I want it to. And then I'm going to have some bit of holly up there. And then we've got the sentiment to do. So because I'm happy with all of that, before I stick my circles down, what I would like to do is just do some little flickies in the background. I'm going to do it in aged mahogany. And I'm going to spritz that with water. I'm going to turn this light on. I wonder if that's... Yeah, it's giving me some light so at least I can see. I just hope it's not giving me too much of a shadow. Okay. And Fanbra. What? Paul's shouting something. You can probably see the shadow. Let me just take it down. I'm going with that. I just need to see a little bit. So just some little flickies in the background. Perfect. And then we're just going to wipe that up. And I was going to blast it, but you know what? I'm just going to mop. There we go. And then we're ready to stick our circles down. Now, I hope I can see which side it is. Now, my normal trick is to grab the circle. Oh, I found one. I found one. It's got writing on it. This was my notes to remind me what I thought I was going to do. I'm going to turn it over so you can't see. No, it just says, try a snow globe one. Skinny frame in black, then stamp the holly. So I would hold this down in place to give me my shape. And then I would go around, I'd just whiz round there with me glue. And then I would stick this on. I wasn't going to do that, but I have now. It doesn't matter if it's not circular because I'm going to be adding the other one in. So then I'm going to pop that out. I'm going to take my whole circle off. I knew I would. Okay, so that's one. And for this one, I am just going to whiz a few little bits. Hey, look at that. And I just want to slightly offset that. And then just give it, what you could do is just flip that over. And give that a press around. like so. There we go. And then we can attach that to our black. And then our card blank. So just get that, make sure that's all stuck. Okay. So now, I haven't stuck these on. Oh, I didn't stuck this one on. Let's just stick this flower in place. I mean, I could have done it with foam pads. I want to. I'll just take that glue off. And then just look for that pointy one. I mean, I could offset it if I wanted to, make it look fuller. But I'm going to stick with... And I'm also going to pop that on foam pads. Oh, do you know what I was going to do? I don't think I can now. Oh, I've forgotten one of my steps. I'm going to explain. Because I've got that double layer on there, I don't think I can do it. But what I wanted to do was to stamp that on there. Let me just see if that's in the right position. And the reason, it's just because of my text. And I know I've even done this back to front because I've got it on the card blank. If I didn't have it on the card blank, do you know what? What have I got to lose? What I wanted to do was stamp that down so I got all the fronds in the background to give it a little bit more oomph. I mean, it's going to look beautiful without, but I think it would have looked fabulous with it. So I am just going to do exactly what I would do if you weren't watching me and just do it. So I'm going to go in my platform and I'm going to place it. I'm going to do a few things. So first thing, get rid of some of these magnets because I don't need them all. I'm going to go over to 1 centimetre, and that's because this stamp is going over the edge a little bit. When I'm happy, I'm going to pick the stamp up because I know it's where I want it to be. Now what I'm going to do is safeguard my card. And I'm going to come in with some tape and just run it down there to save the edge of that. You see, there's always a way round it. Always. So I've just protected the edge of my card. And now I don't need to ink up the whole stamp really. I just want the fronds. So let's see what happens if I just do the fronds. Just ink them up. I mean, I could be wrong. It might not do it, it might do it. We'll see. Okay, got it there, got it there. It's not really, because I've only got that tiny bit, that's fine, and there's only that tiny bit. So let's now place in position. Yeah, you see, that makes all the difference, I think. It just gives it a little bit more. So what we can also do, because in one of the sets, the same one, you've got a little frondy stamp. So I'm going to go and get a little block. And I'm going to make some of my own. Just because it's not, I mean, I could have just done this instead of doing what I did. But I can see where the edge of that leaf comes to. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of frond there. I'm going to add in a little bit of frond there. And I wanted a little bit more frond here. I'm pressing hard because I've got that ridge. That's better. I like that. I'm coming over here and I'm going to, oh yes, I think I want, do I want more? You see, just know when to stop, she says to herself. I'm just going to have a little bit more up there and then I'm going to step away from it. But that is so handy to have that little frond. My little foam pad's been stuck on 3-4 times. Layer that up, get it in position. Yeah. And I quite like the free movement, but I am going to stick some extra pads under there purely because I've got not properly stamped under there. So I'm going to stick one bit under there and one bit under there. There we go. So then I went ahead and I die cut the Christmas background with a little dot and the Christmas in white. And I thought, oh, that is going to look beautiful across there. Let's just go up there, like so. And we've got our little dot, so I'm going to stick that in place. Now, I did and ah. I thought, I could put some text on that, but I actually thought, do you know what? I'm going to stick with that crisp. Because on one of my samples that I did for Julie, I did put the Christmas, the text on, and it did look fabulous. Right, so just make sure that that's in the right place. And then we've got that lovely, now, do you know what? I'm going to do it. Where have my tweezers gone? I am going to replace my white dot with a red glossy because I just think that would look fabulous. Yeah, that's good. So, do I want to have on here Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas, or how do we like Christmas greetings? Because I thought, that's quite nice. It's different. So what I can do is dip into my set. I've got the greetings there, and that could just pop in. Let's see if I can get that a bit higher. And I could put the greetings there. Yeah, I think that would work. Christmas greetings, but I do like that a bit lower though. I might have, no, I can't do Christmas greetings now because I've stuck that on. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to do happy. Now I've got two sizes happy. I've got this one. It's going to be this one. I've decided. I'm also going to cheat and just stamp it straight in. I'm going to go there. Now what I've done is I've put it to the bottom corner of my block. I could just shut my platform over. And normally I would probably have done this before I stuck my flower on. But I am just going to pop that in. Give it a wiggle top and bottom. Happy. And then I'm going to add in my Christmas. And I am going to stick this one flat. It could have gone on pads, but we can tuck that in a little bit. Just like, I'm just raising my head. I don't want it to go over the edge too much, so I'm just sliding it, keep sliding it along till I think I can get away with it. That's it. Let's go in there. Take it out of my platform. And let's have a little look what we've got. Did I do everything I wanted to on it? No, I didn't. Where's that little black bit? Can you see where I've put it? Under there. So now my choice is, do I want to put that little black bit in there? You see, I think that just finishes that off. Thumbs up if you agree. I see nothing. Oh, two. Yes. Yes, you agree. Good. I really am losing light now. Right. So with this one, I've just got a little bit in my hand. Tap it in, take it off, and stick it on. And now, I think that's finished. I could go ahead and paint these in red, but then I think it will fade in, and I think that looks quite nice as the background. Where is your dot for the eye? Nikki, look, it's there. I've done it as a glossy. Can you see? I mean, it might have been better if I'd have done it as silver then. It is the light in here. I'm losing light now. But there's your dimension. I really like that. Don't forget your dot on the E. On the E? On the I. Right, you've made me... I'm going to have to change it now because you can't see it. I'm doing it in silver. Hang on. Well. Hang on. Oh, it's up my nail. Can you see me dot now? That's better. Right, I'm going to flip you back round. Whoa. There we go. That's it. Yeah, I'm happy. There it is. Oh, it's going to be back to front for you now. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I kind of knew where I was going, but I didn't have a sample made. So I was just happy to share that with you. So look out tomorrow for Kaz at 10 o'clock on this page. She's going to do a live. I know that Julie is on ultra limited stock. We've really gone down as we're on limited stock now as well, and I'm sure the other suppliers are getting down theirs really well as well. So I wouldn't hang around because it is the same as when we did mine. It is when it's gone, it's gone. The only thing that's been repeated is the Christmas stencil because it goes well with Julie's and mine. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for joining. Julie, have I forgotten anything? Fabulous way to spend the evening. Oh, it's nice for you, Julie, because you've been able to put your feet up for an evening instead of working. No, I've loved it. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely rest of the evening, and hope you can join Kaz tomorrow at 10. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.